I think it would take a few rounds.
Really?
But yeah. First of all, Jake is a lot bigger. Jake's a lot bigger.
But what weight would they? Fight
well,
at?
I don't think Jake is getting anywhere lower than 205 pounds.
There's a few Americans, and this might be crazy, I think Jake Paul's got a chance. And I know that sounds crazy, but I do think that there are, where I don't believe anyone over here thinks this goes more than around 2 max.
Joe Rogan reacts with surprise at Jake Paul's transformed physique ahead of the Anthony Joshua fight, pointing out how intensely focused and well-prepared Jake now appears. He mentions that Jake has gone up against real fighters before, even if some were close to retirement, and still pushed himself through demanding training. Rogan adds that Joshua getting closer to 40 shifts the dynamic of this matchup, making the entire event even more compelling. He says he's genuinely excited to see how this clash plays out.
It would be crazy. I like a little freak show every now and then. As far as, like, would you like to see...
I like
Jake
a
Paul,
lot of freak show.
Look, if Jake Paul wants to fight for the title, I would like to see him beat top contenders in the light heavyweight division or whatever division he chooses to compete at, and then eventually fight for a title. Yeah.
But are the fights even real? Like the Tyson fight? Like I saw video breakdowns of Tyson...
Jake Paul's newest physical transformation has triggered a surge of reactions throughout the combat sports world. The brief clip circulating online shows a fighter who appears sharper, more compact, and far better conditioned than in any of his previous camps. His posture, the precision in his movements, and the confidence in the way he carries himself all suggest he's gearing up for the biggest test of his career. With Anthony Joshua waiting across the ring in the near future, this version of Jake looks like a direct response to those who once dismissed him as a sideshow. He seems intent on proving he deserves a spot on a platform long dominated by elite professionals. Fans are pointing out how dramatically his physique has shifted in such a short period, making it clear that this camp is rooted in genuine commitment rather than theatrics. Former world champion Andre Berto brings an interesting angle to the discussion. While he acknowledges that most people are hoping to see Anthony Joshua deliver a dominant knockout, he stresses that the situation isn't as straightforward as it looks on paper. Joshua hasn't put together many standout performances lately, and Berto suggests that this inconsistency makes the matchup harder to predict. Meanwhile, Jake is backed by a strong team of seasoned trainers who push him to capitalize on his youth, power, and conditioning. Berto's viewpoint is that even though fans expect a lopsided result, the fight's outcome will largely depend on which version of Joshua steps into the ring. With Jake improving and staying focused, Berto believes this showdown genuinely has the potential to swing either way.
I think you our baby. Like, you one of the first ones, and he gonna always take care of Bert. But then Floyd was as massive as he was. So how you split, how you do that?
No, I mean one thing with Al's always gonna, you know, he got loyalty to, he got big loyalty to Floyd as well. Because they made so much money together. But, you know, it's funny how, he can say whatever he want to say. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how that, how the fight got, it kind of came about. But they had the Pacquiao and Floyd fight. We all go up there. We check the fight out. Good situation. And then just me and my lady, we walking through the casino. What's his name? Rodney Jerkins.
Right.
You know what I mean? Rodney Jerkins, big music producer. Yeah. Y'all talk to him and ask him. Yeah. Rodney Jerkins.
Some analysts take a more practical financial view of Jake Paul's preparation. They highlight his sparring sessions with heavyweight fighters and the mutual advantages these pairings create. For Jake, working with bigger opponents lets him experience the kind of power he might face against Joshua. It forces him to manage pressure, adjust his timing, and stay composed under heavy shots. For the heavyweights, though, the biggest payoff is literal. Training with a high-profile name like Jake brings a substantial check, far more than they'd earn in a standard camp. These sparring sessions end up serving as both valuable experience and a meaningful financial opportunity, creating a setup where everyone involved walks away gaining something important.
I know they're getting a lot of money to be there, and it's easy work. But what is in that for Lawrence Okoli, Frank Sanchez, and Jared Anderson?
Easy money. I don't know how much he'll be paying sparring partners. I assume to get those caliber of sparring partners in, it's got to be big money.
Lawrence Okoli's got a fight coming up. If you're Joe Gallagher, you go spar Jake Paul. Is that going to help you?
No, absolutely not. Are you going to get a bit of profile from it, perhaps? People are going to hear your name.
Yeah.
Does that help? I mean, we're going to spar with Kessler, and I got £500 or euros for the week. It was the hardest money I've ever earned in my
Yeah,
life.
but how much did you learn from?
Yeah, me, bundles.
Yeah. What's the Coley learn? I don't get it.
No.
I mean, I do get it, the money. But when you got a fight coming up, I'm thinking, really? Are you going to get anything out of that sparring that's going to help you in your fight? Maybe you are. Maybe I'm just completely diminishing Jake Paul's ability, but I'm struggling. I really am.
Fair play to Jake Paul. I mean...
And you're right, there's a bit of a conflict there because Joshua used to manage him.
Yeah, it was through 258, right?
Yeah. But surely they're smashing him to pieces. Surely Jake's going, oh, what the fuck? This is fucking horrible.
Every single one of those 3 fighters there could annihilate him in a round.
Yeah, so are they not doing that?
Brendan Shaw and Brian Callen bring in a different perspective, one that shifts the focus onto Anthony Joshua himself. They argue that Joshua needs to enter this fight fully aware of what he represents. To them, this matchup isn't just about securing a victory. It's about safeguarding the reputation of boxing as a whole. With Joshua competing on a massive streaming platform like Netflix, millions of casual viewers will be watching, and many of them will judge the sport's strength based on his performance. Shaw and Callen insist that Joshua must treat this fight as a statement. He has to step in with clarity, discipline, and determination, showing the world why he remains one of boxing's marquee names. They stress that this is not a night for uncertainty or hesitation.
Again, if mentally he's not like, all right, I got a job to do, I'm representing boxing, a lot of American fans don't know me, this will be the most watched thing on fucking Netflix ever for sports-wise, so I got to make a good, showing. Hopefully he has that approach. I assume he does. Because he did with Francis, he was like, nah, bitch, the train stops here.
Yeah.
And Tyson Fury's a little more of a character. Hey, wow, what are we going to do? Let's move around a little bit.
I remember when he caught Klitschko with that uppercut, Anthony Joshua.
And he got caught. He got set down.
Klitschko, yes. And Klitschko is a big man. You're just dealing with literally a different ecosystem, man.
But that's what makes it, that's why it's a brilliant move by Jake. Because his fan base is like, oh my God, Jake, it's David versus Goliath, literally. It's this YouTuber Disney kid. Look how far he's come. He's actually going to do it. What if he wins? So there's that demo of his. And then there's the rest of the world who go, and they're so off on this, but they go, we got to get Jake Paul out of boxing. I can't wait to see his head get knocked off by Anthony Joshua. And that's the majority, right? So those two worlds mix, and you get the most watched boxing match on Netflix ever. More so than Mike Tyson at fucking 77 in a fake sparring match. This, So if you're Jake, it's brilliant.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so let's go through it. Let's say Jake gets knocked out 1 minute.
Sports analyst Otto Oladipo broadens the conversation by pointing out the adjustments Joshua has made in his own training approach. He notes that Joshua has reworked his style, sharpened his rhythm, and is taking this matchup with full seriousness. At the same time, Oladipo suggests that Jake isn't stepping in unprepared. Aware that Joshua is evolving, Jake has likely made his own behind-the-scenes changes, testing new styles, expanding his skill set, and fine-tuning the small details that could give him an advantage. Oladipo believes Jake understands that this opportunity requires his absolute best. Because both fighters are reinventing aspects of themselves for this showdown, Oladipo gives Jake a legitimate chance to create a moment that catches everyone off guard.
Training with that camp. And I mean, if you are Jake Paul, I mean, shit just got even more real. So AJ's taking it that serious. He's now training with the Usyk camp, not just for your fight, but for fights going forward. This isn't AJ saying, okay, you know what, I'm just going to train myself. Just get in shape and maybe just train with my amateur coach. This is AJ saying, no, we're going to train with Usyk's team. And I'm basically meaning, or I'm saying, I'm going to get in the best shape of my life. You want me to get down to 245 pounds? No problem. We've done that before, and that was one of my best performances before. Obviously, I'm talking about AJ versus Usyk too. So, yeah, I still can't believe it's happening, but it is happening. It will do incredible numbers. I've said that I think it will do numbers as big as Canelo Crawford. Some people have laughed at that. Don't laugh. Honestly, because Canelo Crawford over here, it would have been a small, minute percentage of people that would have watched it on Netflix over here. AJ fighting over here, everyone's watching it. Everyone's watching it. Everyone's watching it in Africa because that's the impact AJ has. And obviously everyone's going to be watching it in America because of Jake Paul. And then because of how that photo looked. Again, David versus Goliath. People are now way more intrigued than they were for Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul. So, I'm intrigued as to how it looks in the first 20 seconds. And then I'll be able to just make my mind up as to how long this goes. But I will still stand firm and say AJ should, not will, should get rid of Jake Paul in one round.
Thanks for watching Ring Pulse. Hit the like button, smash the subscribe, and stay tuned for more hard-hitting boxing action.